this video, you will discover the 5 techniques to make a man miss you like crazy. Hi, I'm Brody Boyd, husband of Antia Boyd, and I've been helping single men for over 16 years to attract the right woman for them, so I have a unique perspective into what makes the male brain tick. And make sure to stay all the way to the end of this video because I'll have some special free gifts for you to help you out a ton with this as well. So let's go ahead and dive right in with technique number 5, which is to be feminine even when he's not around you or you're not around him. So now, the only thing that creates chemistry, that creates passion, that visceral sense of attraction is masculine-feminine polarity. Opposites attract, right? Femininity is that which is the opposite of masculinity. Masculinity is that which is the opposite of femininity. Everything that is the opposite of femininity, everything that is the opposite of masculinity, they're polar opposites. So that creates attraction on a biological level between human beings. Now, oftentimes women will adopt this, which is great, and they will create that attraction, they'll create that chemistry with a man, but then they go about the rest of their life. Say the guy goes on a trip or something, he's traveling, he's at work, and then she goes back into her normal masculine mode, which is fine if she's working. If you're at work, it's actually okay to be in your masculine. But if you're just about your daily life and you are in your you're in your masculine, you're actually training yourself to be in your masculine. And I actually believe that a man can feel when you're not with him, when you're away from him, he can feel the energy from you. He can feel what's going on. I really believe that. And he can sense. And if you're then going back into your masculine and you're basically taking down all the things that you were doing to try to get his approval, then he's going to sense that, especially once you come back together and you're going to be practicing bad habits. Once you're back together, it's going to be much easier for you to be back in your masculine. So the key here to make him miss you is you want to maintain that feminine energy. You want to practice that on a daily basis. Of course, when you're not working, but even sometimes at work, practicing that surrender, practicing that being in the flow, being in the energy, the vibrance that is the universe, the motion of the planets, of the ocean, motion of the ocean. Literally, it's the feminine energy, feminine flow. Practicing so so when you're with him, he's going to feel that. And it's one of the things that's going to make him miss you because he's going to long for that energy. He's going to long for that. If he's a masculine man, he's a strong masculine man, he's going to long for that feminine juice, that life force. And so he's going to miss it. And once you come back, he's going to be with you. And he's going to feel it also even when you're not there. So that's one of the big keys to start off with to make a man miss you. Let's dive into technique number 4, which is to find new ways to love yourself even more. So one of the ways to make a man miss you, especially when he's not there, is rather than moping around, being depressed, or being anxious about, does he still like me? Am I still the one? Is he going to come back and he's going to be not interested anymore? Or even, let's just say it's during one day of the week or, a couple of days of the week when you're not around each other. What do you do during that time? Again, this is about your energy. It's about managing your energy so that when you're away from him, he will sense what kind of energy you're in. And then when you're back together, you're going to be filled up. You're going to be life force. So you're going to be in your full life force. So how do you do this? So finding new ways to love yourself. Some of the ways I recommend is actually think about it. If you were actually dating yourself, how would you romance yourself? If you were your best romantic partner, how would you romance that? How would you make yourself light up? Would you take yourself to a nice dinner? Would you write yourself a love poem? Would you buy yourself a spa day? Would you go to the park, go out in nature, have a picnic? Do things that fill you up. And it depends, of course, on what you like. In any relationship, you want to find out what the other person enjoys the most, and that's how you match their love language. So what is your love language? Of the 5 love languages, do you like quality time? Do you like physical touch? Do you like acts of service? Do you like gifts? And do you like words of affirmation? So whatever your love language is, how can you give that love language to yourself? How can you speak to yourself those words of affirmation? I love you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. When a man's not with you, how can you give yourself gifts if that's your love language? Little treats, little surprises, rewarding yourself when maybe you've accomplished something at work, treating yourself to things that you enjoy. Or just spending quality time with yourself. Go out in nature. Think about your life. Think about love. Think about the world. Think about the beauty of nature. Whatever it is, that quality time with yourself, filling yourself up. Maybe it's just meditating. And we can go through all of them. Physical touch, of course, you can get yourself a massage. You can even massage yourself. I have a massage chair where I will sit and I just like get a massage. I even have a foot massager also. So I use, because physical touch is one of my big love languages as well. So I do that with myself as well, so that it's not all the burden is on Antia. And so you can do all these in different ways to fill yourself up. So be creative. Find new ways to love yourself even more. Technique number 3 to make a man miss you is to create open loops. Create open loops. So what is an open loop? An open loop is like a cliffhanger. It's like the end of a film or a TV show usually, where it leaves you on with a feeling of what's next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next week? It's this uncertainty. It's this lack of closure, basically. It's like when you open a door and you can see there's some light shining through it, and there's probably something really amazing on the other side of the door, but you can't quite see it until you actually walk through the door. And if you're not able to walk through the door, it just makes you wonder, what if? And so that's what you can create with your man. That's what you can create with a man that you're dating even. This feeling of what's next? What might happen when I see her next? What else? What other good memories can we create together? What's the end of that story she was telling me? So you can create open loops through various ways. One of them is to actually leave conversations on somewhat of a cliffhanger. So you could say, if you guys are having a good conversation, you're going back and forth on something, or he's getting to know you more, you can say, well, let's talk about that when you get back. Well, let's talk about that on our next date. Or I'll tell you the rest on our next date. So you can create these open loops where he has a little bit of anticipation. Like if he's wondering, so, what happened after you got out of grad school and this thing happened and you were getting this new job and it was crazy. You'll say, I'll tell you the rest. How about I'll tell you the rest on our next date? And you give her like a little wink or a smile, playfully. So you want to do it playfully. So it's like this, creating this kind of anticipation, which is exciting for men, because men are hunters at their fundamental level. Masculine men are hunters. They want this feeling of anticipation, especially when they know that you want them to chase them. Men are more prone to chase you when they know you want them to chase them. So you might want to write that down. So let him know that you want him to chase you by giving these little signals. So some other ways you can create these open loops. Being just generally not telling everything right away, right off the bat. I mean, you want to be vulnerable. You want to tell a lot, but you can leave bits to the imagination for him to figure out later. Other ways you can create open loops is have a great experience. Just be a great woman to be with when you're with him. People remember that saying from Maya Angelou, I think it was. People remember what you say. People forget what you say, but they remember how you made them feel. So make him feel amazing when he's with you. Part of that is feminine energy. Part of that is being confident. Part of that is just having a fun time when you're with him, helping him to have fun by you having fun, by you being an enjoyable person to be around. Now he's got an open loop because he's going to feel, once that feeling goes away, he's going to be, man, I want that feeling back. Man, I want to just feel that again. Some other open loops you can have is by actually talking about things that you might do together sometime in the future. I mean, of course, if he brings it up, asking him about things he likes to do for fun, asking him about places he's traveled, where he might like to travel, because then this gets him thinking about what kind of things you guys might be able to do for fun, what places you might be able to travel together subconsciously. And so he's going to start creating open loops of what you can maybe create in the future. So those are some examples of some open loops you can create and that I recommend to make him miss you even more when he's away from you. Technique number 2, which goes deeper on what I was just mentioning, we're going to go deeper into this, is to give him unforgettable emotions and experiences to remember. So this comes from a concept from a book called On Love by an ancient poet named Ovid. And he said in the book, he described this salt mine in Germany. And he said the Germans in these salt mines would throw these sticks. Usually kids would do this for fun. They would throw the sticks into the salt mine. What they would do is they would tie a stick onto a string and they would throw the stick into the salt mine and let it sit for like 2 weeks. And then around 2 weeks, they would pull the stick out and the stick would have all these beautiful salt crystals around the stick. And so what Ovid said, his unique insight was that love is very similar. He calls this process crystallization, the process of falling in love. And the key with this, what he described, is that we do not actually fall in love with somebody when we're with them. We fall in love with somebody when we're away from them, thinking about them and thinking about how we felt around them. So more like feeling about them. So you can use this. How can you use this? You can create these feelings of love, of connection, of happiness, of joy, of ecstasy, of pleasure, of passion, of interest, just some basic being interesting. You create these feelings when you're with a man, so that when he's away from you, he's going to be remembering those feelings. He's going to be remembering those experiences and saying, wow, when I was with Susan, it was just so much fun. That was just such a fun date, or I just enjoyed that, or she made me feel so much like new emotions I haven't felt in a while. So then he starts to actually, that's when the attachment starts being created. That's when he starts to become attached to you. That's when he starts to develop emotions with you. And even me and Antia, when we started dating the first 3 months, we didn't spend that much time together. We'd see each other maybe once or twice a week because she lived in a different city than I was. I was living in Waikiki. She was on the other side of the island. So just from logistics, we didn't see each other that often. It's not that far, given some people really see each other long distance. But because we had that space, it actually allowed those creations of the emotions inside of me too. I don't know if we would have even, continued if we had been just seeing each other every day. Could have burned us out much quicker, and there wouldn't have been that chance for that crystallization process. So it's a mindset shift here. You want to think about when you're with a guy, when you're dating a guy, how can you just be an enjoyable person to be around, create amazing experiences for him, so that it's just like a movie. When you look back and you're thinking about a movie, you're going to remember those peak moments. You're going to remember those interesting moments of like, wow, I wonder what that actually meant, or why that character was doing that. So you can create these feelings and these experiences that make him think about you when you're gone. And that's going to actually lead us to the next step, where you can create those thoughts, not just the emotions. That leads us to technique number 1, which is to be mysterious. And this is going deeper into things we already talked about as well. So mystery. It's like the dancer on the stage who only shows certain amounts, makes the crowd wonder. Like you see those dancers with the drapes, the drapes, and they're very feminine in their flow, and they will move them around their body. So you're only seeing little glimpses at a time. That is like the image to think about when you're thinking about being mysterious, is you're doing all the things we talked about, but to a deeper level. So you are creating open loops. You're creating experiences to remember. You're being interesting. You're revealing, but not revealing too much. You're keeping some for later, keeping some for the appetizers and the dinner and the dessert. You're letting it be a process. You're letting the gradual unfolding of desire happen on an ongoing basis. So basically, how can you create this sense of mystery? The big way is to just embrace the idea that you are like this you're like this cat. You're like this cat that, sometimes with cats, they will come to your lap, they will sit on your lap, but then sometimes they will just do something random. Like they'll just jump onto the top of the bookshelf for no apparent reason and then sleep up there, or they'll walk around. So you're like this cat-like mysterious energy that makes a man feel like, wow, what's going on here? What is the full story about her? In a good way, where he's wondering, like, there seems to be more to her. She makes these little comments that show it, like, this depth inside of her. I know when I met Antia, we started our first conversation. Within the first 30 seconds, we were talking about things we both had in common, these books that we've read, these interests that we had, and experiences that we had, and I just wanted to know more. I wanted to talk to her more about, well, what do you think about this book, and why did you what do you think about this concept, and how do you apply this concept, and what other events have you gone to, what other courses have you attended? So, but she didn't tell me it all up front. I had to learn more over time, partly just because of time. I mean, the first time we were together, it was only like maybe an hour or two total time, maybe a little longer, maybe 3 hours at the most. But there was so much more I wanted to know because I learned so much, but the bits that I got were like great, So that's a powerful thing to do when you're talking to a man, when you're on a date. Like, tell him things, give him glimpses of the vulnerability, give him those peak moments, but let him wonder about the rest of the details. Let him want to know the rest of the details later. So you're holding just a little bit back. Not you're holding it back, but you're promoting the glimpses of things. And sometimes when you're dating a guy, you don't want to give out everything anyways, especially if it's a heavier thing like your childhood and there were some bad experiences or your last relationship. You can give him the general overview to start, and say, yeah, we broke up, he cheated on me, or it was a bad experience, but I learned a lot in it, and I got much more clear on relationships and what makes them work and what makes them doesn't work. And you could leave it at that. And then he'll probably want to know, well, what else did you learn? You know, what else did you learn about relationships? What has been your experience since then? So it's like you're giving those little glimpses without going into so much details that there's less left for him to discover. Think of it also as like you are revealing gradually, like peeling back the onions. Of course, that's a great metaphor as well. It's like you're peeling back the onions, the layers like of an onion. You think of it as like these layers that you're gradually showing, but giving little glimpses in the meantime of what the gold is inside. And this is also a way of beingness. So the last thing I want to say here is that some women try to use these techniques as a way to get a man to do something for you, to get his commitment, to get him to like you, to get him to go deeper. However, the key here is this is a way of being. This has to be something that you become. You be this woman who is this queen, as we like to call her, where you are naturally being your best self. You're naturally being feminine. You're naturally loving yourself, filling yourself up. You're naturally creating these great experiences when you're around a man that makes him have these open loops and makes him in feeling this sense of mystery that there's so much more to uncover because it's who you are. It's a way of being. This is a beingness. This is not a doingness. So when you also focus on being this woman, being this person who is naturally seductive, naturally attractive, magnetic to men, quality men, this is so much more powerful than if you try to use these as a technique. So that's why the practice is so important. Beingness is a mindset. It's a way of like adopting this is who you are. You are this queen. You are this valuable woman. You are a woman who men chase. And that is what's going to bring them to you. So that is the last part I want to mention with all of this, is that these are all ways of being, and you need to adopt them as ways of being rather than ways of doing, and they'll be so much more powerful and effective to you, which we will go into on future videos. See what I did there? Created an open loop. Okay, you got it. So, hope this video was helpful for you. We have a special, powerful, free gift for you as well because you stayed to the end of this video. First thing, if you could actually subscribe, like the video, you'll be getting more future videos like this coming up in the future that we will be creating for you on these topics and going deeper. And I created a powerful free course for you called How to Get a Man to Chase You, which you can get by clicking on the button over here, the box that has those video series, that video series. And we also have a powerful Magnetize Your Man free quiz where you can get a personalized strategy for you that you can get clicking the link in the description below, or go to magnetizeyourman.com, magnetizeyourman.com for that gift. So much love. Hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you on future videos. Take care. Bye-bye.